Once upon a time, bad people ruled the earth. So nature made everyone sick.
Excuse me?
And then a miracle happened. They called them hybrids.
So we just got the release of Sweet Tooth on Netflix, and it's actually a really good show. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandon, and this is Film Flare, where we discuss anything and everything that makes film and television great. So be sure to subscribe, and let's talk about a great show. Sweet Tooth is based on a DC Comics story and follows a half-human, half-deer hybrid who goes out on a journey through a post-apocalyptic world where most of the remaining population wants him dead. We aren't told that much about the start of the apocalypse. We're told the very basics of a virus that kills off most of the adults while also creating these new human-animal hybrid babies. But we're only really shown the first few days of the initial outbreak before basically jumping 10 years into the future with a new world order and starting our story from there.
Some stories start at the beginning. Ours begins here.
We meet our main character, Gus, a young hybrid boy who's lived his whole life in isolation with his father. But when the two of them are discovered and his father dies, he's left to defend for himself before befriending a violent drifter who saves his life. And the first few episodes of the show give off some serious Bambi vibes. But after that, the story really gets moving, and this show just kept getting better with every episode. First off, the cast of this show was really good. Convery was really cute as the naive hybrid happy to be out in a world that wasn't happy to have him in it. And Nonso and Anozie played really well opposite him as a rough loner with a hardened exterior and a shady past, who no matter how much he says wants to be left alone, can't stop himself from helping this strange child.
Look, if you don't blend in, you don't make it. You got me.
The two of them made a surprisingly entertaining duo to watch, especially as we see Big Man grow fond of Gus while simultaneously trying his hardest not to get attached. The flashbacks throughout the show were a great way to learn more about our characters without dumping a ton of exposition on the audience. Instead, we get a first-hand look at how the apocalypse shaped the story and the people we see on screen.
You can't know Gus's story without knowing Amy's too.
Another thing I really enjoyed about the show were all of the great secondary storylines. They were so good, in fact, that I actually found the main story of Gus's journey to be the least interesting storyline. My favorite by far was Dr. Singh and his plethora of moral dilemmas.
It goes against everything that we believe in. I don't think I can do it.
Every time he's on screen, he has to make impossibly difficult choices where something terrible happens no matter what he chooses. He's a decent human being who's just jaded with watching his patients die while being completely unable to help them. And now all he wants to do is protect and save his wife from this unstoppable violence with no cure in sight. But in order to do so, he has to do some admittedly terrible things.
What I'm about to do goes against everything that I believe in.
And his situation just keeps getting worse and worse for him as he barely manages to hang on. I think his particular story exemplifies a key point of the overarching story in the show. For the kids, everything they know is black and white. You're a good man or you're a bad man. It's all very cut and dry for them, and there is no room for gray area. But for almost every adult, it's much more complicated than just right or wrong. To do right by one person, they almost always have to do wrong by another. They have to live in the nuanced shades of gray in order to survive in this world.
You're doing what you have to survive.
It was also really interesting to see how all of these different storylines end up meeting and connecting at the end. Some of the connections did feel like they were a bit of a stretch, but either way, it'll be interesting to see how they all further intersect should the show get renewed for more episodes. There were also some great twists and revelations in the last few episodes, with a couple of cliffhangers at the end that are just begging for more stories to be told.
Get some sleep. Heal up. Tomorrow we get our kids back.
All in all, this is a really solid show with a great setting, characters the story makes you care about, and really interesting storylines altogether. It's easy to binge all 8 episodes in only a couple of sittings, and it holds your attention really well from start to finish. But what are your thoughts on the new show Sweet Tooth? Let me know in the comments below. It's available now for streaming on Netflix. But before you go and watch that, please do be sure to give this a like and subscribe for more reviews like this. We've got new content coming out every Tuesdays and Fridays. But until next time, have a great day and don't forget to watch a great show. Bye.
Guys like me aren't good for kids like you.